Hi guys, thanks for joining me for some moments of mindfulness today. I hope you've been able to incorporate mindfulness into your daily practice. I hope that you have started to notice when your amygdala is activated and you're not in danger and it's time to move into your prefrontal cortex. I hope that you have been able to use the 3 strategies that we have learned, stopping and taking 3 deep breaths, or recalling a favorite memory, or practicing gratitude. I hope that you've practiced those and you know which strategies work best for you in different situations. All right, we're going to talk some more about that, but first, let's do our core practice. All right, let's settle in for our core practice. Remember, when we're doing our core practice, the idea is to calm your mind by just focusing on your breath. All other thoughts that float in, we just let them float away and we just pay attention to our breath. Now, to get started, let's go ahead and sit up straight so that our lungs are able to fully expand. Go ahead and rest your hands somewhere and close your eyes or pick a point on the floor to focus on. As you're focusing on your breath, if you notice that your mind wanders, just go right back to focusing on your breath. Notice the thought that has popped up and then go right back to focusing on your breath. If it's helpful for you to keep your mind calm, you can focus on breathing in when you breathe in and the thought of breathing out when you breathe out. All right, let's get started. Keep focusing on your breath until you hear the second chime. So how was the core practice for you today? Is your mind busy today or is your mind calm? Just noticing what's going on in our mind at any moment is the practice of mindfulness. So it's a really great practice to stop and focus on our breath and just pay attention. Is my mind really busy today or am I relatively calm? That's mindfulness. Okay, so let's talk about the strategies that we've learned. We have learned that our amygdala, our security guard, is very important. Our amygdala keeps us safe. When we are in danger, our amygdala is what allows us to quickly make a decision and get to safety. That's great. However, our amygdala does not know the difference between a real threat, such as a fire, or a perceived threat. Maybe somebody gave me a funny look. Our amygdala actually thinks when someone gives us a funny look that we are in danger, and our amygdala responds accordingly. Our amygdala shoots a stress hormone called cortisol all through our body so that we are able to quickly act and get to safety. But we don't need that added cortisol. We don't need cortisol. Somebody gave us a funny look and maybe we just misunderstood, or maybe even they're mad at us. But regardless, it's not a life or death situation. We're fine. We're safe. So we don't want that extra cortisol. And that's where mindfulness comes in. Because when we pay attention to what's going on in our brain, when we stop and we think, wait a minute, am I really in danger? I notice that cortisol is going through my body. I can feel the stress hormones. I can feel that I'm getting agitated. Am I in danger? And when we stop and say, oh, no, I'm not in danger, then we move into our prefrontal cortex. When we move into our prefrontal cortex, our creative part of our brain, we are able to make a decision about what to do about whatever happened. And that's what we want to do. We are different from animals because we have a prefrontal cortex. We have a creative thinking brain. So we should use it. Part of leading our best lives is just to start to notice what's going on with our brain and try to spend most of our time in our prefrontal cortex, our human thinking brain. That's what we were designed to do. We're different from animals. Animals don't have a creative thinking part of their brain. Their only options, the only option a lizard has is to fight, flee, or freeze. But we have a multitude of options that we can use. All we have to do is stay in our prefrontal cortex. That can be challenging because our body is designed to be alerted to danger all the time. And guess what? Your amygdala is activated every single day, several times a day. And if you don't notice that it's activated, you will continue to produce cortisol. You'll continue to produce that stress hormone, and you'll just get worse and worse and worse. That's not what we want. So we want to get off that roller coaster. When we notice that our amygdala is activated and stress hormones are pulsing through our blood system, we want to stop and say, wait a minute, I'm not in danger, I'm safe. And that's where our strategies come in. First of all, sometimes just stopping and saying, hey brain, I'm safe, I'm not in danger. Sometimes that stops the roller coaster. Sometimes we need to use our other strategies, like stopping and taking 3 deep breaths, focusing on our breath, realizing we are safe. Sometimes we need to close our eyes and think of a happy memory. When we think of a happy memory, we release dopamine into our system, which is the feel-good hormone. That counteracts the cortisol, and it helps us to have that warm, fuzzy feeling. And if we want, we can stop and practice gratitude. That does the same thing. All 3 of our strategies stop, move us into our prefrontal cortex, and alert our brain centers that we want the feel-good hormone, dopamine, to be released. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? Okay, guys. Today, your assignment is to think about what types of things alert your amygdala. What makes your amygdala go off? Some of them may be real dangers and some of them may be perceived dangers, not life or death situations. I want you to just make a list of the types of things that make your amygdala go, hey, danger. All right? And then as you notice different things that make your amygdala go haywire, you can add to that list. All right, that's part of leading your best life. We are designed to stay in our prefrontal cortex, to be creative beings, and to make great decisions. That is what it means to lead your best life. So until next time, I do hope you lead your best life, find your bliss, and don't forget to pay it forward.